Ba-ba-da-bow-bow, Banger Management, Fantasy Hockey Podcast. Woo!
Woo! Woo! Welcome to Banger Management, the Fantasy Hockey Podcast with Jake, Josh, and Kevin.
Hello.
Today is going to be the day that we're going to throw it back to you. What exactly are we going to throw back to you? Not Kevin's cat, because that would be weird, but
We can throw her back
we are
to you.
going to throw some news, updates, and the famous Would You Rathers. That's exactly what Oasis had in mind when they wrote those lyrics. 100%.
Agreed. I think these Would You Rathers are famous at this point, honestly. I feel
They
like word's getting around and people love it. And
Word is getting around.
Yeah.
And today I got some spicy ones for you guys. I tried to listen. I think last week was the best Would You Rather episode that we had.
And you weren't even here.
Yeah, but this time I am here, so I'm gonna try to keep it good.
Yeah,
Nice.
Seriously, if they're anything like they were last week, Josh likes to peak. I never peak.
I've
ever.
never peaked in my life, and I never will.
You guys are both peakers, okay?
Oh my goodness.
I haven't even begun to peak.
Slander. Josh doesn't even need to peak at Would You Rathers. Why? Because he's coasting on top of the world. He is literally the top 1%. Care to explain why, Mr. Consolidation?
Okay, I mean, it is pretty crazy right now with what's going on in our league. Like, this is the first year, I think, ever that so many people are willing to trade with me. And
Josh is putting small business out of business with his trades. That's what's happening. You know, like the mom and pop shops that like to have a good time playing fantasy hockey. And then there's like a conglomerate. So like, oh, okay, well, here's $5 to close your doors. And then they go around and it turns into $1 billion business. That's Josh right now. So without your little proface over there, get to the chase of who you now have on your team.
Okay, my top 3 players on my team are Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, and Austin Matthews.
Oh,
yeah, those are some pretty good players, if you ask me.
Okay.
And they were drafted 1st, 3rd, and 4th overall in our league.
So
just
how are the
McKinnon.
rest of us? How are the rest of us supposed to have fun? Please tell me.
I took all the fun. I want to have all the fun.
Those are
what I'm saying.
Our teams are what? You're starting 20 players on any given day, so those are 3 of Josh's 20 players, and I think it's now that trio and friends.
Yeah.
So Josh has been wiped clean.
I gutted my team. I didn't get these guys for free. I paid like a hefty price. You know, any value.
He paid 2 or 3 good players for this player, and he always made. He always had the ability to trade high on somebody and buy low on somebody else. Like the McDavid trade was like thrown into his lap in like week 2 of the season, where he traded JT and Tage Thompson for McDavid straight up, but 2 for 1. And JT had like done nothing thus far. But the guy who had McDavid really loves JT and thought he was buying low and was able to get like a free Tage Thompson out of it. And then lo and behold, JT sucks and McDavid is good. What are the odds? And yeah, it's just nuts.
Yeah, it's been a fun journey. I think I've made 5 or 6 trades at this point. Then I traded Wyatt Johnston, Bo Horvat, and Chris Kreider for Kucherov, and then turned Kucherov into Draisaitl. And then my most recent one was Robertson, Geeky, and Sider for Matthews, Eriksson Ek, and Barzal. So it's a good time. It's a good time. And
you sold really high on Robertson, who's been like the best player in fantasy over the last few weeks, just like scoring at will. So honestly, like we always talk about being able to sell your guys when they're hot and not buying into the hype too much when it's unsustainable. And then look, you can do what Josh just did and you get another 1st round pick. So
I'm collecting them all. Why do you hold your 1st round picks dear to you? Because hold them close, because I'm coming for them.
The only other picks that were made that high that you don't have on your team are Kucherov and Brady. And that's Jakey's 1st round pick that he has on his team right now, and my 1st round pick. So
yeah, but Kucherov was on my team for like a week.
I know, but that's the only one you're missing. Oh, and McKinnon, obviously.
McKinnon. I've sent a lot of offers.
Never attainable.
Yeah.
So Jake, Thanos, and Kevin, those are your 3 hosts today.
No more Arturs.
Yes, seriously, Arturs is long gone.
He was snapped. He was in that 50%. He's gone. Like Josh and Steve, half of it just gone.
Exactly. Okay, before we dive in, follow us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. We are there. Rate us 5 stars if you enjoy the lollygagging and the actual content as well. subscribe
Mhm.
on YouTube and like this video, please. It helps grow the community and it gives us positive feedback that we're giving y'all good content. Don't
And
forget
it
to
makes us
join
happy.
yeah, even Josh, who we still want him to be happy despite just
we want
taking
him to be happy, just not for his happiness to infringe on our happiness. You know, like, we want to try to win the league as well. Why? What are we doing here?
Josh like redefined Wrecking Ball after Miley Cyrus defined it the first time.
Yes.
That's what happened. That's what happened.
Look, you know what happened was last year was my first year ever not winning the league, and I decided I need to get every single first round pick to make up for that. So I'm hoping to come back strong this year. We'll see what happens, but I think we should dive into some news and tidbits. Yeah, I don't think anyone's that interested in hearing about my team.
Well, it's all content, so these are the type of trades you can make to consolidate it. And if it ends up working, we'll see how it goes. We'll definitely update you guys throughout the year. Instagram, TikTok, X, and Reddit. You can see the link to all of those in the description as well. Let's dive into some news.
Okay, let's do it. Kyle Palmieri of the New York Islanders tore his ACL and is out for the season. Max Shabanov is getting that first look on line 1, power play 1. I don't know if you guys saw, but like Palmieri tore his ACL, and then as he's leaving the ice, he gets an assist.
Yes.
Yeah,
which
he's
is
a monster.
just
that was
insane.
crazy.
Yeah.
that was really sick.
It was nuts. But like obviously this really sucks for him and it sucks for the Islanders. I think this is a big opportunity for Shabanov. I mean, we saw what Palmieri was doing with that deployment, and Shabanov was kind of highly touted going into the season. So now that he's getting that ice time and deployment, I think it's very interesting to see what he can do with it.
I totally agree. There are two archetypes of players who have success in the KHL and come to the NHL. There is Artemi Panarin and Kirill Kaprizov. And then there's Nikita Gusev.
Yeah,
for all the new listeners to the podcast, I hate Nikita Gusev. Okay, I was so hype on him a few years ago. He came into the league, did negative for me somehow, and it was
he was
garbage.
so bad I don't even remember him.
Like, you don't want to, trust me.
Yeah.
It causes me nightmares still. So will Shabanov be one or the other? That's the question. Another classic Jakey thing to say. He's a very small player. He is 157 pounds, which is, like, to be fair, this is actually meaningful because in the KHL, you don't have to be big and strong like in the NHL. It's more of like a finesse game. So I'd really like to see how that works out. That
the
being
Russian's
said,
known for being small and weak.
See, spoken like someone who hasn't seen Miracle on Ice, the Disney version. Anyways, all this to say, this could be a very interesting one or the other. I don't expect it to be a middle of the road. Pick him up because it's a tremendously high ceiling and also a super low floor, but still worth it in a deep league to roster him, and in a shallower league, watch list and see how it goes.
Yeah, I was going to say, the only thing that I have to contribute to this is that he's 100 pounds short from being able to be on Jakey's team. So,
he's on
Josh's
queen over here, but if he has a lot of Chipotle, maybe he can get there one day.
Yeah, we'll keep
send
you
him
guys
to
updated
McDonald's,
on his,
and then you could send him to me in a trade.
We'll keep you guys updated on his weight journey, but until then, let's move on to the next one.
Yes.
Next, we got Sean Durzi returned from his upper body injury, took power play 1 for about one practice, and then lost it again. One shift, yeah. So we'll see. Like they have to get something going on this Utah power play. I picked up Durzi. I was excited. I was like, maybe he can keep power play 1 for a game, you know. And obviously, I was a bit too excited on that one, but I think it's still a possibility. So just something to keep an eye out on.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Durzi in the past be a power play quarterback in the NHL. Now, listen, we saw at the end of a few games ago, he got the last power play opportunity on PP1. So that was the last thing we saw. And then on practice, he was practicing there. And then, lo and behold, the next game happens and Sergachev is back on PP1. So it was like literally a very short stint. I recommended people in Discord to pick up Sean Durzi just because this is the type of thing, like, you have to follow the process. Like, a guy gets PP1, you have to, first of all, you put your alarms on and you pay attention to it. And this Utah power play has been abysmal. They're I think bottom 5, like hovering over bottom 3 consistently. So they're looking for a spark and something going. They're bumping Logan Cooley on and off PP1. He also, I mean, spoiler, but wait, did you not mention Logan Cooley in the show doc, Josh?
No, because he's healthy.
He avoided major injuries, so thank God for that. And yeah, I think the Sean Durzi experiment, I don't want to say it's completely over, but like for those who picked him up, regarding like the shift in practice they saw and whatever, I think you can safely drop for the next guy up, like anybody else that we're probably going to talk about on this episode.
Yeah, quick addition there. If they do put Durzi back, I think it's a short-lived thing to try to, shake things up, but I don't think it's going to be a season-long place for him. They want Sergachev to be the power play one guy.
They want Sergachev to be the guy, but they also want their power play to be good. So they're going to roll with whoever is making their power play good. And whether that's Durzi or Sergachev, whoever makes it happen is going to be the guy that's there. The thing with Durzi, though, he's been in the past a guy that's really good at blocks, and he has like a little bit of offensive punch to him. So he just came back from injury. Maybe he's still breaking some rust off, but if he gets a run at it and he's successful, like he's going to be fantasy relevant. It's just about whether the deployment sticks or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, we've got Jared Mccann of the Seattle Kraken returned from injury and regained line 1, power play 1. We've talked about this a few times, I think, on the news episode because he was like close to coming back for a while, and now he finally did come back. And he's just a very underrated name that people don't really give much respect to for being the best forward on a team. So I definitely have interest in picking him up after this 2-game week is done.
Yeah, same here. I almost put him into Would You Rathers today just to get spicy with it, but I did not. So can I just throw like a few names at you just to see where you kind of like fall for Jared McCann? Because a guy with this deployment and his history is kind of valuable for fantasy. So would you rather Jared McCann or Gabe Vilardi?
Vilardi.
Okay, Jakey.
Yeah, same. This is the real reason you didn't put him in, so you can sneak it in mid-episode.
Yeah, exactly. Let's and now we have to add another nickel to the Vilardi. So.
Yeah. Oh, true. I didn't even think about that. Okay, Jared McCann or Dylan
Holloway.
Okay, McCann or Eklund?
I think I go McCann.
I think for now I agree, but I could see Eklund just being insane because the Sharks are really looking good.
They are looking good.
Yeah,
I go Eklund there. I think, but I think it's the same tier. I think it's just like if one of them had a better schedule than the other, I'd prefer the one with a better schedule type of thing, So yeah, just gives you an idea of where we value Jared McCann rest of the season. If anybody has him on their roster and activated them from IR, that's a good idea.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, Val Nichuskin was a full participant at practice and will be back tonight. It will be interesting to see if he could bump Landeskog or Lehkonen off power play 1. I think that I would pretty much guarantee that none of those power play 1 guys is going to hold it all season. I think it's going to be back and forth throughout the entire year. And, they're great when they have that stretch. Nichushkin's a good enough player that even when he's not power play 1, he's still worth holding. But obviously the ceiling is way higher with the deployment. So honestly, if I have Nichushkin, I'm holding him regardless. But once he gets power play 1, I'm trying to sell him high.
Yeah, I totally get that. I was very prepared to say that I think Landeskog is going to keep it, just because he's the captain. He's actually had some good success recently. They want to get him going. I'm looking at their lines for tonight, and it seems as if it's Nichushkin in on power play 1 over Landeskog, which I'm honestly a bit surprised by.
Well, Landeskog was also dealing with a sickness thing, so it's possible that at practice they just ran with Nichushkin there and gave Landy a little rest.
Definitely possible. At the end of the day, this is just such a wagon that they're going to keep experimenting and just be so good when they get into the playoffs. So you're totally right, Josh. Between the 3, it's going to be volatile. But if you own Nichus, like I wish I did, then you are just so happy because those 3 on that top power play is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Can I give you guys a few names for Nichushkin?
Yes. Okay, you can give
quickly.
2.
Okay, Nichushkin or Alex Tuck?
Tuck.
I think so too. With the shorthand upside, yeah.
Okay, Nichushkin or Nick Schmaltz?
Nichushkin.
Me too. Same.
Okay.
Cool.
He's gearing us up to split the difference.
I know, exactly. He's practicing. He's just collecting data. That's all he does. He's collecting data on us so that he can split the difference every episode. It's a great
Excel file.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
The model's learning it. We're just feeding him information.
That's exactly it.
The guy, just for FYI, the guys that I named, I value less than the first Would You Rather with Jared McCann.
Okay, yeah.
Like all the guys that we talked about with Jared McCann, I value more than the guys I just listed now.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay. David Pastrnak is day-to-day with an undisclosed injury, and Victor Arvidsson is back from injury, so he's taking his spot on power play 1. The past injury, they said that he's not traveling with the team for this week. They said that of their injured guys, he's the closest to coming back. So if, gun to my head, as Kevin likes to say, someone's asking me for a timeline on Pasta, I'm saying 1 to 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I think that's a pretty solid bet. And in terms of what the injury is, I don't know if people remember this, but he had the tendonitis going into the season. So it's possible that got re-aggravated or something like that, or it's something completely new. They're not telling us, so we won't speculate on it too much.
Do you see this as a buy low opportunity for Pasta?
Yeah, anytime one of these top tier guys is injured and it's not like a long-term injury, I'm like pouncing on the opportunity to buy
Mhm.
low on them.
And you're not worried if it's like the tendonitis thing that it might be a lingering issue for the whole season?
I mean, it's definitely a worry, but the fact is, like, when he said that tendonitis thing, he also said that he had been playing through it the entire last season.
Mhm.
So he's dealt with it before. I know there's other players who've had it who've played with it, the entire season. So
Yeah.
I think it's just going to be there might be if this is what it is, then it might be here and there he gets like sat for load management, which sucks, but he's still a good enough player that I'm not worried.
Yeah, agreed.
Imagine like trading Morgan Geekie for Austin Matthews, and then this happens.
Yeah. You missed out, Josh. You could have had the best scorer in the league all
No,
to
I think it's the
yourself.
opposite. I think the whole team's going to start sucking. Like, I know Geeky was doing well, not on Pasta's line, but it's the whole concept of being able to like give him better matchups. But in all seriousness, it is a pretty solid Morgan Geeky test. He's been on fire. If he keeps this up throughout the
He's been more
injury,
than on fire. He's been like
He's
on
better than
lava.
Pasta.
Yeah.
no, I know
He has
it's
20
crazy.
goals.
He's
It's
tied with
crazy.
McKinnon for the most goals. An interviewer asked him, like, how does he feel? He was just like, I'm not meant to be here, man.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, he doesn't even believe in himself. Trade him high.
Yeah, but I really think the whole team's going to get like tremendously worse. We talk about talismanic. It doesn't get talismanicer than Pastrnak, especially
So
considering the
true.
Bruins are like somewhat afloat. So Geeky's going to get a lot worse than he has been
Boat goes
naturally,
down.
and on top of that, yeah, the boat
He was due for
is
some regression anyways, but this past injury
Yeah.
definitely doesn't help.
this
Yeah.
is the iceberg that is just going to sink their boat.
Yeah, exactly. The iceberg that's going to sink the Titanic.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, here's a big one. Carter Hart is making his season debut for Vegas. We'll see if he can perform at the NHL level after 2 years away from the game. That's pretty long
Huge.
time to be out of it. I know that his conditioning stint didn't go great, but obviously that's not, Carey Price played in the NHL, AHL like one game and didn't do great, like it's such a different league that I don't put too much stock into that. I put more stock into the fact that he hasn't played in like 2 years.
Yeah, I think honestly it's worth having a conversation on Carter Hart because we've had so many people ask questions in the Discord, and it's just a general topic of conversation. By the time you guys are listening to this, you will have already seen the first game for Carter Hart in the NHL, so you'll know if he got lit up or you'll know if he stood on his head and had a great game. So if we're talking about both, my guess or my prediction is the fact that I don't think he has a stellar game, but I don't think he gets lit up either. Like Vegas is such a good team that it's hard to like have an abysmal match. But the coach said he expects him to be rusty going into this. Like he had 3 AHL games and he wasn't impressive in any of them. So I'm expecting him to get better as the season progresses. I'm just curious to see if they want him to be the guy until Aiden Hill comes back, or just like another name that gets 50-50 starts with Akira Schmid until Aiden Hill comes back, if he ever comes back.
Yeah, so I think that it's going to be him overtaking it over the next week or two. They're going to ride it out, and then maybe when Hill comes back, they'll do a tandem. He was still playing in the KHL, so it's not as if he wasn't playing. And
Yeah.
to me, the way I see this is that like players could go from the NHL to other leagues and come back and still be successful. Look at Radulov, look at Yager, and goalies. And then, so I really think that this is a great opportunity to pick up what should be the starter on a great team.
Yeah.
He's most
And-
likely picked up on most teams. I feel like people, as soon as he got that out eligibility, everybody that's in a normal league, stashed him right away to the IR plus. But let's say he's still available on waivers. Would you drop UC Saros to pick up Carter Hart? Everybody's talking about UC Saros right now. Nobody wants him on their team anymore.
I don't.
That's a
Actually,
really
you know
tough
what?
one.
Yeah, probably yeah. Because Vegas is just so much better than Nashville. At least he's gonna get the wins. Like it's gonna be
Yeah.
like a bit of a rocky start. I'm not expecting like instantly just fitting in and doing great, but I think like when it's all said and done in a month or two from now, you'll be happier owning
I
Hart
think
over that stretch.
I think if you're okay with the outcome, the possible outcome of you drop Saros for Hart, and then Hart sucks, and then you have to drop Hart and find another goalie. If you're okay with that possible outcome, then yeah, I'd do it. If like your league is so deep and everyone stashes goalies that like you drop Saros, you pick up Hart, it doesn't work out, and then you're just like screwed, then I wouldn't take the risk.
Same thing with Binnington, you think?
Binnington shoot him into the sun.
Yeah. What about UPL?
No, I like UPL more.
Okay.
I mean, no, I would drop him for Hart, but I mean, I don't have to shoot him into the sun.
Okay, fair. Only Binnington gets shot into the sun. Noted.
Yeah, exactly.
There's
that
no
is
in
an
between. There's dropping or shooting into the sun.
Would you drop a Habs goalie for Carter Hart?
I'll
Yes,
drop Dobish,
both.
yeah.
Monty, you wouldn't?
Both.
I would keep Monty.
I would
Monty
also
is
keep
one
Monty,
good
I
game.
think.
It's one good game. To me,
Yeah,
like,
maybe it's 2 good games tonight.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Okay, wait, let's move on. That's
Yes.
that's good on the Carter Hart front, even though it is super interesting, but we've got a
It
lot
is.
of stuff to cover. All right, next, Nugent-Hopkins returned from injury and bumped Adam Henrique off power play 1. No surprises there. And I mean, their power play kind of took off back to where we expected. So as a McDavid and Draisaitl owner, I'm pretty happy about this.
Yep. Not much to mention here besides the fact that, I mean, we highlighted Ryan Nugent-Hopkins as a sell high earlier in the season when, he was getting that top 6 deployment and the PP1 was clicking. Right now, if he was on your IR, you activate him and it's, pretty straightforward, but he's going to be line 3C most likely. So less 5v5. Still a PP merchant. If you can sell him, I would.
Yeah, he got 2 points in his game for 1 game back. So I think you could still, anyone who plays with McDavid and Draisaitl on that power play has some value in a trade.
Yep.
Speaking of guys on my team, Austin Matthews returned from injury and regained his line 1 power play 1 spot.
Let me be very clear. I'm happy he's back from injury. I'm booing that he's on your team.
Now I have to root for the Leafs' demise even more.
Exactly.
Because he's on Josh's team.
I'm trying to think back on like all my many championships, and I think Matthews has been on most of my championship teams. So I'm pretty excited to have him back.
Championships.
I mean, for the first 2 years, at least in our league, my team name was Stone Cold Steve Austin, and it was a picture of Matthews' face on Stone Cold Steve Austin. So, he's been a key part of a lot of my victories. So I'm excited to see what he can do for me this year.
Yeah, I
Well,
still
I hope
think
he sucks. So
yeah, same. And also, I think that it's just like the Leafs are going to be scoring less, so I wouldn't expect as elite as he was, but like still a point per game plus with incredible back categories, maybe even better blocks than you're used to and better shots. So it could even out with a slight dip in points, but obviously this is massive.
Side tangent. I'm curious. Do people like it when we talk about our league of record or just like the trades that we're making and whatever, or do people are just like get to the good stuff? I just want to hear how I can make my team better, Because if people are actually interested, like let us know in the YouTube comments, let us know in the Spotify comments or in the Discord. Like I'll make a Discord channel that maybe is like just read only, and we can just keep posting the transactions that all of our teams make and the adds and drops and the trades, and just to keep people updated. I think that could be cool. Just food for thought.
Yeah, and also if people hate it, we can stop talking about it on the pod.
That too, let us know.
Yeah, and speaking of the Leafs, Matthew Knies also returned from injury and took his spot back on line 1 power play 1. So, both those guys were out for a bit, and the power play has been absolutely awful so far this year. So I'm hoping that they could turn it around. Now that I have Matthews, I also pick up Easton Cohen, who's power play 1. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Talking of teams with blue jerseys, Adam Fox was put on LTIR for an upper body injury. Will Cooley takes his spot on power play 1. This is crazy. They didn't even waste any time. He went straight from playing in a game to LTIR. There wasn't, we're going to evaluate, whatever, like LTIR immediately. What does that mean to you when you see that?
I from what I'm seeing, it means that they know for sure he's missing multiple weeks. And I think from what I saw, the reports that I saw, I was trying to follow it closely. They said he's not going to be a worry for the Olympics, which is February. So all of December, I'm expecting him to be out. I'm expecting a return maybe like mid-January is my guess, just so he's able to like play a few games, because I don't think he can go from like being injured for 2 months and then straight into the Olympics. Like they won't pick him for that. So I think he'll have to come back in January at some point, but like that's already 4 or 5 weeks away. So that
Weak
expect
buying
to be. I mean, buy low if you can IR stash. I have a league where I bought low on Hellebuck. Like I said, I traded Jarvis and Swayman for Hellebuck, and this is a league with 2 IR spots. I already had Jack Hughes, and I just lost Adam Fox. So I traded for a guy to stash on IR, and then I just lost Adam Fox for 5 weeks, and now I have a dead roster spot for until Hellebuck or Fox comes back. So tough moves there because I don't really want to trade any of them. So just be careful when you're trying to IR stash to make sure you actually have the ability to just stash and not cost your team a healthy spot. But I would absolutely trying to buy Adam Fox on the low right now. And also, I just want to throw it out there that I now own 3/5 of the New York Rangers power play 1. So pretty happy about that.
Honestly, if you told me at the start of the season that at any point in the season, all 3 of Panarin, Trocheck, and Cooley would be on that power play 1, I would tell you there's no shot. Like, what are the odds? Like, even
I
like
thought one of them would be besides
yeah,
Panarin.
exactly. Yeah, like Panarin was obvious, but then like the other 2, I was like most likely neither of them. Like we thought laugh, whatever. But like, yeah, no, it's crazy. Good for you, Kevin. But we'll see what happens with that.
Yep.
Okay, Connor Garland is out with an upper body injury. Kiefer Sherwood taking a spot on power play 1. Now to say here, they seem to have decided that Sherwood is the backup power play 1 guy every time Connor Garland gets injured, which seems to be every week. So that just makes a guy who's already a banger's beast even more, viable and for points and power play points, which is kind of crazy.
And I think Kiefer Sherwood was getting traded. So what does that do for his fantasy value? I think it really depends where he gets traded. I'm hearing Bruins are interested.
Of course they are.
I'm hearing Carolina is interested. I'm hearing Devils are interested. Like these are the teams that are kind of in for a winger right now. But Sherwood's a specific type of winger. Like he's young, he's scoring goals, and he's a banging beast. So I expect maybe his bangers to get slightly worse depending where he goes, just because it's hard to keep up that archetype when you do it somewhere else, I would say. But they want a first round pick plus. So when that happens, if it's like next week or in a month, I don't know. But I feel like at this point, Vancouver's committed to selling, and I think Sherwood is like the prime piece that they want to sell. But
So
while he's on
showpiece
PP1,
for him.
his value goes up. Maybe you trade him in your fantasy leagues before he gets traded in the NHL.
I will say that I think his value goes down tremendously. Maybe not tremendously, but his value goes down regardless of where he ends up because there's no team he ends up on that he's going to be power play 1. So the fact that he has it now on Vancouver is the highest he's going to do. And also, his banks can't get better than they've already been. They can only go down, like you said.
Yep.
Most likely they stay pretty similar, but overall, I think it's only going to be bad for him. So
But less ice time, less bangers.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, like when you're trying to learn a new system, you're more worried about like being
making mistakes.
Proper on the ice as opposed to just like hitting everything around you. So
yeah, it's nowhere to go but down.
Best place to be.
I was gonna say.
All right, here's one that really pissed me off this week. Mark Stone returned from injury out of nowhere and bumped Braden Bowman off power play 1. Braden Bowman, who I picked up 2 days earlier. I don't understand this guy. There's no news about him for months, or at least felt like maybe weeks. But there's absolutely zero news. He's LTIR. This guy's probably dead. And then he's like, oh wait, it can screw Josh's fantasy team over if I just randomly came back this week. Okay, I'll get out of bed. I'll be like freaking. He's literally like he's like Grandpa Joe from Willy Wonka, right? Like he's like bedridden his entire life, and then like Charlie comes in with a golden ticket, and he's like, oh, I can walk again, Deep cut, for all you Grandpa Joe haters out there.
All of us unite.
So I think like Bowman's spot on this power play is basically gone, but I mean he's still playing with Eichel, so you dropped him. Would you recommend that to everybody as well? Instant drop?
I mean,
in most leagues he's an instant drop, I think.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about this. I don't like having guys who are not power play 1 or a banger, and he doesn't provide much category coverage. So I do think in terms of, even strength deployment, he has one of the best even strength deployment in the league, but I just don't, trust that enough without any power play 1 exposure.
And there's absolutely no way he overtakes one of the guys there, right?
No, I don't think so.
Zero
but
chance.
I will say when inevitably Mark Stone gets injured again, I'm snapping up Bowman.
I do think that we have to talk about the other consequences of Mark Stone coming back, because now Vegas looks like they're rolling 3 lines, and Hurdle and Dorofeyev are playing line 3, and they're playing like 15 minutes a night. So definitely hinders their value. Both of them are still PP1, which is great and is a solid foundation for their fantasy value. But definitely both guys took a hit in the immediate future. And we're seeing, Bowman and Barbashev play with Eichel on line 1, which is crazy. And then Marner and Stone are playing with Brett Howden. So that's how that happens. I think there's a perfect opportunity to put like the 6 best players in the top 6. But they're splitting it into 2-2-2. So, and Hertl and Dorofeyev seem to be the guys that are missing out right now. I do think that both of them end up in the top 6 eventually again. Let's not forget, like, William Karlsson will come back at some point as well, and he's, their best line 3C. So I think when that happens, Hertl will get line 2C, and then hopefully Dorofeyev gets bumped up to either playing with Eichel or playing with Hertl again. So just definitely to note, I still think Dorofeyev is a buy low opportunity, but you have to temper your expectations for the moment with this new deployment that he's not going to be firing on all cylinders, but maybe just makes the window to buy even better and you can get him on the cheap.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good note. Okay. Pyotr Kochetkov is out with a lower body injury. Brandon Bussy is the starter in his absence. Guys, we memed it into existence. I don't know how this happened.
We just can't stop talking about the Bussy.
It's actually nuts. Like, I don't know. The hockey gods decided that they wanted us to talk about Bussy all year, and that's
first Archdeep, now Bussy. It's crazy.
Archdeep's going to be line 1 power play 1 like next week.
Sherwood gets traded and Archdeep is taking his spot. It's written in the stars.
Exactly. So this is crazy.
Is that Anderson is pretty injury prone too. Kochetkov also. Do you think that Bussy could handle a full load?
I love how you tried to say that with a straight face. I'm just gonna move on. I definitely think that Brandon Bussy has shown enough on his time on ice that he's a capable goaltender, able to win games. He just got a shutout. Like not many rookies have gotten shutouts for their team in this many starts. So I think that he's definitely a viable pickup if you're an extremely goalie needy team and the options are scarce. Would you rather Anderson or Bussy moving forward? I think I'm leaning Bussy just because I feel like right now he's playing himself into a 50-50 timeshare, and while Kochetkov is out, that's a whole other conversation with Kochetkov. But he doesn't seem right. Like I do not want him on my team. Like, so I'm happy with either of these Carolina guys, knowing that they're going to get 50% of the starts, and I think Bussy's the guy that's maybe going to give you better quality.
Yeah, it's crazy. If you told me at the start of the season that neither Anderson nor Kochetkov would be like the top Carolina goalie to own, and they didn't make any trades, and the other guy's name is Bussy, I would be like, what? Can I have what you're having? Like, yeah, no, this is crazy, but yeah, everything you said is absolutely correct. I'm excited about this this next one because I think depressed Kevin is finally gone, and the return of the king by Peter Jackson is a big big moment here. Brady Tkachuk returns to action and bumped Dylan Cousins off power play 1 actually. So Kevin is like
Shane
smiley
Pinto
face.
Dylan Cousins off power play 1.
Tkachuk bumped Pinto, but then Pinto got his spot back and bumped Cousins. So yeah. Anyways, Tkachuk is back. All you Tkachuk holders out there, rejoice like Kevin was all week. And,
I still am.
Yeah, I'd say the only loser out of all this right now, it's Dylan Cousins. We'll see if Pinto keeps that spot. It's whoever's the odd man out on power play 1 loses. Everyone else on the team wins.
Yep. I mean, listen, I suspect Dylan Cousins to make his way back to PP1 in the future, whether it's this week or next week or in a month. I don't know. But this Ottawa power play has not been the best as of late, and they're used to being like a top 5 power play. I think having Brady be the net front guy is going to help a lot. I'm more curious about how the 5v5 lines are going to go, because it looks like from what I'm seeing in practice that they decided to split up Batherson and Stützle as of late, and those guys have had chemistry together recently, and now Brady's playing with Stützle and Cousins is playing with Batherson. So seeing how those lines shake out is interesting to me, but nonetheless, I think you're just happy to have Brady back in your lineup. I mean, listen, the guy came back, got a point, the next game he got 8 shots. So like, sometimes I open my Yahoo app and I look at the score and I see like, oh, he's got 2 shots, 3 hits, and like I'm like, oh, what time is it? And I look at it, they've played like 4 minutes. And I'm like, okay, that's just Brady. So glad he's back.
I don't think that Ottawa is like a top heavy team. I don't think that they're the type of team that's going to put like their top 6 and consolidate the way Vegas can and probably should. I think they've always been more balanced down the lines, and Shane Pinto's a great line 3C. Like, that's like really good stuff.
And they just signed him.
Yeah, you got Giroux, Shane Pinto, and Bing Bang Bang with Amadio, and I mean, like that's a pretty solid line 3 right there. I wouldn't be surprised if Batherson does shift to line 1, and I guess that means it's a pretty top heavy line 1. Nevertheless, with Brady back, I mean, he's just Return of the King is like we have Aragorn at home vibes. That's how good Brady is. So, like,
I think
The
we do need
beacons
to
are
talk
lit.
about. Yeah. We do need to talk about Pinto though. Like, are you adding him? If you're in a deep league, I feel like he's a must add at this point when you get exposure to that PP1 because honestly his metrics have been solid even without the PP1. So the fact that now he's getting exposure there, I feel like he's even in 12-team leagues he can be an ad.
Yeah, as long as he's power play 1, I want him on my team. Second he loses power play 1, I don't have much interest. But
yeah, absolutely.
You take the chance. When a guy who's already a good player gets the deployment, it's a great time to pick him up.
Yeah.
Do you know how many
Paul
hits
vibes,
he had 3 games ago?
Who?
It is sorry, just because it's striking. How many hits Pinto had 3 games ago?
5.
Josh,
I'm gonna
take a
say
guess.
4.
9.
That's
What?
crazy.
5 plus 4.
How does that happen?
Whoa.
9, 1, and 3
That's
over the
nuts.
last 3 games. That's
That's crazy.
Not to mention
Yeah.
he's been playing over 20 minutes a night.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a serious
So,
pickup.
Yeah, that's good stuff right there.
Like this next guy we're gonna talk about.
Yeah. All right. Keeping on the Kevin is happy train, Josh Norris is backed and bumped Zach Benson off power play 1. We've been talking about Norris coming back for a while. If you throw back to our week 1 waiver episode where we recommended Norris as the best pickup, we are once again recommending Norris as the best pickup. He put up 3 points in his game back. As long as this guy's healthy, he's amazing. Okay. And again, if you're picking him up for free, you don't lose anything from holding him as long as he's healthy. So yeah, this is an easy pickup. He's line 1, power play 1 center, just as we expected. And as long as he's healthy, he's going to be great.
Yeah, I mean, I still remember he played 1 game, guys. He got hurt on like the last face-off of the first game of the season, which is already. I had lost Brady right after, I lost Trocheck right after, and then I lost a bunch of other guys. So I've been longing for this Josh Norris return, and the fact that he comes back with a boom is just very exciting. We know he has it in his bag. Like we got a lot of questions in the Discord about like what can I expect rest of season from Josh Norris? Like what are we expecting here? I told people I think he can get 0.4 goals. 0.4 assists, an average of like 0.8 points per game, get you a lot of power play points, power play goals specifically. So if you're in a points league like that values those more, I think he's more of a goal scorer than an assist guy. And I think he's a double-double. I think he'll get you 2 shots, 2 hits, and if you're lucky, maybe like 7 or 8 face-off wins. Or 6-7 face-off wins.
Yeah, I fully agree. That's a great I view him as like a 2.62 on the back end. So that's like 2 shots, 6 face-off wins, 2 hits, and then 0.8 with like 0.25 power play points, something like that.
Yeah.
I think it's just a really, really good ad. And there's not much to say. His issue's always been health. It's never been that he's not good.
Yeah, and you can also say that he's never played with this much offensive talent. I know that Brady's an amazing player. He's way better for banger leagues than Tage Thompson, but like Norris is amazing at the banger categories, always has been throughout his whole career, and now you put him on a line with Tage Thompson and like probably Benson's gonna stick. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of potential for him to be incredible. So if you held diamond hands, good for you. And if not, I mean, only 25% owned, pick him up.
Yep. Yeah, it's a no-brainer pickup. Okay, Lucas Dostal of the Anaheim Ducks is out 2 weeks with an upper body injury. Peter Mrazek came in, and then he also got injured. So Vezina Ville Husso is the starter while he's gone. Look, this is a short-term play. Yes, free Villy. This is a short-term play. Obviously, when Dostal comes back, he's the clear starter. But if you need a goalie in a pinch, then free Villy, as Jakey said.
Ville Husso was my best friend 2 years ago. And then
was it 2 years? But I feel like it was like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe it was 2022 with that like incredible run that he had
on St. Louis.
It was post-COVID for sure. But wow, was that hype. Like I picked him up and it was just automatic. I think like he did what Binnington did the year they won the cup. Like it was incredible stuff. I'm not expecting that again this year, considering since then he's probably been on like 4 different teams then in the AHL, and like I don't love it. I have him right now because I'm in need of a second goalie, And I think it's going to be a nice short-term play, to be honest. But when Dostal is back, I mean, I wouldn't say instant drop if he's super good over this stretch, but like I think it's just Dostal's
Yeah, I
net,
would
and
say
once he's
instant
healthy,
drop.
we'll see.
We had a
We'll
couple.
see how
We
he
had a couple.
does.
Sorry, we had a couple questions in the Discord asking about like what to do with Vili. Like a lot of people went 0G and that are struggling in their goalie position right now. Either like they have Allmark, Saros, and they're just looking for some help. Would you rather have Husso or like one of the Detroit guys, like a Gibson or a Talbot?
I'll take the Detroit guys. I think
Yeah?
this is such a
Okay.
this is a 2 week thing, and then he's going to be
Okay.
0% owned. Like I think there's nothing here, and it's not to say it's a bad pickup for two. If
Yeah.
you need a goalie for 2 weeks, you know,
Like
let's say
for
you
these
have
next 2
Hellebuck.
weeks, you'd rather Husso or the Detroit guys?
Yeah, I would take Husso for 2 weeks over the Detroit guys. First of all, he's going to get all the starts, and Anaheim's just better than Detroit this year. So I like him for that. I was going to say, if you have Hellebuck and you need, Comrie sucks, so you want someone to tide you over a bit longer, Husso's a good pickup for that. I think he's an instant drop when Dostal comes back.
Wait, so what about Husso or Bussy?
I'm going Bussy.
I'm going Bussy as well.
You're going Bussy, okay? Husso or Cooley on the Flames?
I'd go Cooley.
Husso.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I think that.
I mean, he's taking
Cooley's
starts from Wolf.
That's it.
And he's been good, but I don't
the thing
expect
is
it to
that
last.
Husso, but Husso we know it's not going to last. We have a 2-week timeline and then he's done.
But you think after 2 weeks, Cooley still is going to be relevant enough to, steal more than one start a week from Wolf?
I don't believe in Cooley. I'd say Cooley has like a 10% chance of continuing to be good after 2 weeks, and I'd say Husso has a 0% chance. So I'll take the 10% chance over 0.
Yeah, but I'm thinking who's going to be better for these next 2 weeks, and I think Husso's going to get more starts.
Look at what they've been doing. Like it's not even close to me. Like Husso, he had one good game. Before that, he let in 1 goal on 1 shot. When he came in.
For me, I just think it's like Wolf has been really bad, and I think they want to just like give him a mental break, and they have a guy that's like putting up good performances, so they're able to like make that swap. Whereas Husso's going to be like put on an Anaheim team that can compete in every game, and also he's going to be the sure thing starter. So I'm
Calgary's won like 5 of their last 6, something like that, with Cooley
but
playing.
I don't like Calgary, so we'll see.
No, neither do I. Mean, look, neither of these is a long-term play. I'm just saying, in the short term, would I rather ride the hot streak of Cooley or go with Husso for 2 weeks? I'm taking Cooley.
But like next game, Wolf could have a good game, and then Cooley's not playing again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. So you drop him.
Yeah.
I'm going unbiased and has nothing to do because I have him, but I'm going Husso, Bussy, Cooley.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. And then below that to Smith, just to say. He's like another guy I was going to talk about, but whatever.
Yeah. Okay, talking about goalies, Tristan Jarry is back from injury and seems to have taken the starting job from Arturs Silovs. Crazy. I mean, look, we love a good Arturs, but if you're losing the starting job in our Lord's year 2025 to Tristan Jarry, then you do not deserve the starting job. And that's all. And Jarry's been good, to be honest. Jarry has been good. So I like Jarry as a pickup for a 0G team if we're talking about those low roster goalies.
I don't understand anything with this anymore. First of all, I don't understand why they're so good this year and they were so bad last year. Second of all, I don't understand why Jarry's serviceable this year and was abysmal the past 3 years. And third of all, what happened to Silovs? He was so good. It's
because you picked him up.
Yes, that's actually it. I don't like to say like, oh, like this is because of me that this is happening, but no, it's my fault, guys. I'm sorry.
Yes. Everybody blame Jakey.
Yeah, Jakey, stop picking up people.
I picked him up for like 8 fab at the beginning of the year. He was amazing before, instant garbage, and then same thing just happened. I picked him up for 9 fab for
nobody else
Stuart
did.
Skinner, who Kevin then picked up against me last week and got a shutout against me to flip like 3 goalie categories.
That's
so that
insane.
was just awful. While Silovs let in 4 goals on 10 shots. So that was
streamed
awful.
like 3 goalie starts, and they let in like a combined 15 goals.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It was really bad.
Everything about last week was just horrible, absolutely awful. So
no, I have to say it was hilarious. Like I think going into Sunday, going into Sunday, I had just streamed Stuart Skinner for the shutout on Saturday, and then Jakey was like behind in goals against average, save percentage, and we were tied on wins. And then, but last Sunday, it was like not many options for goalie streaming. So Jakey picked up Mrazek and Husso to make sure he gets to whoever ends up starting that game. And then Mrazek ended up let it in 5 goals, got pulled, got hurt. Hutson came in, let in. The only shot he got, he was a goal against. It was
Like, I had
honestly
to
hilarious.
overtake him. I needed 11 saves, and I barely got it.
He
I
got like
14 over a full game between two goalies. It was actually the
I was
most
like, there's
ridiculous
no way he's
thing.
not going to overtake me in saves. It's
It
absolutely
was
impossible.
super nerve-wracking until like halfway through the third. It was
That's
awful.
so nuts. Yeah, that's crazy.
Absolutely awful.
Okay,
Anyways.
talking about absolutely
Continue.
awful of the Nashville Predators, we've got Jonathan Marchessault back from injury and bumped Brady Shea off power play 1. He's been pretty brutal this year. I don't think people had too many expectations because he was also brutal last year, but still didn't expect him to be this bad. I will say I am playing him this week, so expect a big week from him.
I think Marshall's another guy that like is rumored to be traded. It's like him, it's Stamkos, it's Ryan O'Reilly. Like all of these guys are all the competing contenders that want vets that to push them over the edge. Like these are the guys that are going to be on everybody's watch list. So maybe better days ahead for Marshall, but right now I'm like not too thrilled about it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, should we dive into our would you rathers?
Yes, we should. For anybody's first time listening, I come up with 5 would you rathers, one of every position. So left wing, right wing, center, goalie, and defenseman. And my goal is to always split the difference, get Jake and Josh to disagree on this would you rather, and then if so, I will be the tiebreaker. So let's get started. We're starting with the center position. We're starting hot. I hope you guys didn't peek, but get your comparison apps ready to see. I'm talking the highest regard name. I don't know what I was going to say, but this guy's on fire after one game. Would you rather Josh Norris
Oh my god.
or Nazem Kadri rest of season?
Okay. So I'm where'd you go? Not again. Hello?
Oh my god, Kevin. This
Kevin.
guy needs to figure out his technical stuff. He
What
drops a
is he
bomb
doing?
on us like that. And then
Discuss.
just Okay.
Okay. So I cannot believe this just happened again. And also
I know.
would like to say that hello. Welcome back. So
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry.
my choice here is not going to be the highest regard player. It's going to be Nazem Kadri. And I'll tell you why.
Wow.
I'll tell you why. I actually think that
Tell me
if I could
why.
have like some sort of guarantee for the next 2 months that Norris is going to play every game, I would choose Norris.
Oh, it's not a health thing. Who do you want on your team, baby?
Well, that's it. Because due to the fact that he's literally always hurt, it's just too much of like an unnecessary premium. So I'm going to go Kadri. But I think like his averages are more like Norris's averages are going to be more desirable because essentially they're the same player except
Kadri doesn't hit.
Better hits. That's exactly it. So really, you're not getting that much worse with Kadri, and Kadri's pretty good at staying healthy in the recent years. So I'm just gonna go Kadri.
Not that after you just jinxed him.
Yeah, I'm also going Kadri. I've been on the Josh Norris train. I've drafted him super late. He's injured the whole time, and then he comes back and he gets you a 3-point night, and you think, oh, I made the smartest pick of the whole draft, and then he gets injured a week later. So I'm going Kadri. I just think this guy's cooked, honestly.
Yeah.
Like I would like if I had
Josh
Kadri
Norris?
and someone offered me, if I had Kadri and someone offered me Norris for him, I wouldn't accept that. Look, if I can pick up Norris for free, then I'm taking Norris easily because I think he's a great player. But I'm not trading any assets for him when I know that he's going to get injured again.
I'm not banking on the injury again. Listen, if it happens, I'll just IR stash again and pick up somebody else. But I want him on my team when he's healthy because I think he's better than Kadri. I think rest of the season, I'm more excited about this Buffalo team being healthy and developing some chemistry together. And Kadri's not playing with anybody remotely close to as talented as Tage Thompson. So,
I mean, neither Jakey or I are arguing with you that when healthy, we prefer Norris. We're saying that we have zero trust in Norris's health. And like, if you can get Norris for free, I'm fully on board. I love Norris. I think he's a great player, but I'm not like trading Kadri for him.
Well, I would trade Kadri for Norris. So there you have it. All right.
Okay.
Let's move on to the defenseman position. This one, I hope, is going to be a decision, like a tough decision for both of you. But try to keep the homer inside. But would you rather Jakob Chychrun or Lane Hutson rest of season?
Oh, this one's easy for me, actually. I'm going Chychrun. I've been so proven. I don't know. I wasn't like super anti-Chychrun, but I did not think he had this in him, honestly.
Yeah.
I think he just had a few he was great on Arizona, right?
Mhm.
And then he had some down years, didn't do great in Ottawa, but I mean, he was buried underneath Sanderson and Chabot. And then he goes to Washington and was buried under Carlson, but then, started showing that he's better than an old Carlson. And yeah, all that to say, he's been absolutely insane, completely outdid what I think he would do. And to me, it's a no-brainer. As much as I love Lane Hutson, I think it's Chychrun for sure.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think the shot discrepancy is almost 2 shots a game. He hits non-negligible hits, like over a hit a game. And I mean, like, yeah, he's been so, so good. Like, this is someone who at one point was regarded as like one of the next big things for
Mhm.
NHL defensemen. And while I really think that, when Hutson is the same age as Chychrun, that he'll have accomplished more in his career for this specific year, I'm going to take Chychrun.
Okay. I knew it was going to be close, but I didn't know you guys were going to be like so in agreement of Chychrun, because I think going into the season, I was the highest on Chychrun. I really wanted him just because I believed in the PP1, and then he didn't end up getting it, which is like a huge downgrade for his value. But now that he has it, I think he's an exceptional player. So, but would you rather Chychrun or Heiskanen if I had to change it?
Chychrun.
Yeah, Chychrun.
What about
I'm so
Yossi?
scared of Heiskanen. Chychrun.
Yeah, I'm still taking Chychrun.
Okay, what about Morrissey? Because now we're up there.
Morrissey.
Yeah, I'm taking Morrissey.
Okay, because
Yeah,
Morrissey's like top 5 defenseman right now. So
this is the best Chychrun's ever been in his entire career. He's got 23 and 26. He's on pace for 73, and he has never, believe it or not, he's never hit 50 points in a season. He technically would have last year if he didn't miss any games. He was on a pace to do better. That being said, I really think that Chychrun's awesome this year. Just the category coverage and the points is great.
would you trade Jakob Chychrun for Adam Fox right now?
No, I'd rather have Chychrun.
Really?
It's just because it's like a question mark as to whether or not he's coming back, in a timely manner that's going to help you. Like, if healthy, yeah, Fox, like, for sure. Like, if he was healthy right now, and the fact that I'm even considering that in question means, like, it's, like, I believe in Chychrun a lot. I think, like, there's the obvious, like, Makar, Hughes.
I was gonna say, like, right now the only names that I didn't
Yeah.
name that I think you are ahead of Chychrun is, Makar, Hughes, Werenski, Dahlin. That's 4.
Yeah.
And then it's like, we're talking about Sider. We're talking
rather
about
Sider.
Morrissey. That's 5. That's 6. There's not many other names after that.
I mean, Bouchard, I would take over Chychrun.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I would take. I think I would also. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's a really good point. There's not many that I would take. I mean, Gostisbehere has been on a tear, but I'm still taking Chychrun over Gostisbehere for sure.
Yeah, it's not even close.
And what's interesting about this, and we'll move on, I guess,
Yeah, we will.
pretty shortly. Well, Sanderson, I would rather over Chychrun as well.
Okay, fair enough.
I will say that the thing that kind of scares me about Chychrun, though, is that I'm weirded out that him and Carlson have both been able to like coexist and be so productive. That's like rarity.
Carlson is not on PB1 anymore, so
True,
they're not really coexisting anymore.
Absolutely fair, but like just to have like both defensemen score like well over a point per game over the last month,
yeah,
is something that it's a bit sus.
To be said that both could be sell highs. I think John Carlson is a sell high as well. Like if you can trade him on the value that he just had, while the fact that he's not on PP1 is a thing now. So I would definitely try to sell John Carlson, but you want to get fair value as well. So
yeah, and I'm definitely taking Chychrun over Carlson.
Yeah. Let's hop onto this next one while we wait for Josh to reconnect. But I'm talking, would you rather Lucas Raymond or Kirill Marchenko rest of season? 2 right wingers.
So this is a shame Josh disappeared into the upside down, because this one to me is
new Stranger Things season out right now. Go watch on Netflix.
Not a sponsor, but you could be if you want to
be.
Not yet. So I think, okay, so I like to just like preface this with saying that originally like my instinct went to Marchenko right away.
Yep.
But looking more into this, the reason I chose that is because I was convinced he was just going to have much better shots on average this season. But it turns out that their season average for shots is like only 0.4 difference. And I think I
Yep.
believe in Detroit's offensive prowess more so than Columbus, even though Columbus is like a good offensive team. I
Mhm.
just think Detroit's like a great offensive team.
Yeah.
Their troubles are going to be shutting down and like letting in less goals. So I'm going to go with Raymond on this one. This is the tightest one so far today, though,
Yeah.
for me.
I wonder what Josh would have chosen. I guess we'll have to hear it if he ends up making it back, but if not, we'll just finish without him. I think it's very close. I think similar archetype of player, right? So like they're both kind of like points shots guys that are very prolific. I'm banking on the Detroit power play being better rest of season than the Columbus power play. I think that's a safe bet. So I'm also leaning Raymond, but honestly, do I expect one to be hotter than the other at a certain points during the season? Yes. I guess we'll have to see how it shakes out. But I want Lucas Raymond on my team. But we're splitting feathers here.
Yeah, we're splitting feathers. Feathers are splitting big time. I think we're gonna move on to the next one. Oh wow. Very cool. Message from the upside down. Very Will Byers of you, Josh. He chooses Marchenko.
Ooh, okay. So he doesn't believe in Raymond at all. So let that be on record that Josh hates Lucas Raymond, but a lot. Let's get to this next one. This is a blockbuster. We're talking about first round caliber players here, but maybe this guy was not drafted in your first round. Would you rather Mikko Rantanen, famous Colorado Avalancher, or Kirill Kaprizov, famous Minnesota Wilder?
Honestly, I was confused by the way you said it. He's back. He's back.
Oh my God! Back
Voldemort.
I'm so sorry. So sorry, everyone. My Wi-Fi cut out. As if to this is just a big technical difficulties day for us, eh?
Oh, wouldn't you like to know?
Yeah. So we got your message from the upside down, and you chose Marchenko. Kevin and I both chose Lucas Raymond.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
My logic was I think the Detroit power play is going to be better than Columbus power play rest of season, and I feel like that's a little bit of a tiebreaker for me between the two of them because they're basically the same player.
I think that's fair. I'd say one thing in favor of Marchenko is that he's, I think, much more talismanic than Raymond is for their team.
And we do like talismanic players.
Yeah, but I can't fault. I think it's a really good one. So splitting the difference was a good move.
Yes.
All right. I already announced the number 4, Josh. So what's your take? Jakey was about to give his, then you joined, so you interrupted him basically.
Okay, now Jakey, you go ahead. I don't want to interrupt.
So I think it's funny because I was just gonna say you temporarily looked like a cyberpunk over there, like like those super pixelated. Oh my God, I'm having a
NFTs
blank right now. Yes, you look like an NFT for a second.
Check out our site where we'll be selling NFTs of me.
We will not. We will not be selling NFTs, guys.
What do you mean 100 million ETH isn't a good price?
For a monkey?
Okay, but you're back now. You're no more cyberpunk. My choice here is gonna be I think I'm gonna have to go with Kaprizov because I believe in the shots and the points more so than with Rantanen. Rantanen's like ranking as of the last few days, if you're playing a PIMS league, is probably going to be 1 because he decided to be like
he put up
the biggest
39
loon in the
PIMS against
NHL.
me.
It's crazy, like Georges Laraque 2.0. It's nuts. And despite that, being able to still produce so elite offensively is quite special. But if Minnesota is able to do what I was going to say St. Paul because we called Wallstedt, or John called Wallstedt the wall from St. Paul earlier.
Yeah.
I love that.
Everybody calls him that.
Yeah.
I'm hearing this for the first time.
I came up with it.
That's TM. But all this to say, I just believe in Kaprizov's points more so than Rantanen. We could say that, in the past, Rantanen has scored, 100 plus points in his career, but it's a bit of a different situation now. I'm not saying he can't do it again, but I think that Kaprizov's path to chasing that milestone is a little bit more clear. So that's my choice for Kaprizov there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Rantanen actually. I know this may be
Okay.
a hot take. Yeah, this might be a hot take. I know the right choice might be Kaprizov, but ignoring the Pims. Obviously, that was random, just happened because he was playing me. So let's pretend that didn't happen,
Mhm.
like I do. In terms of shots, yes, Kaprizov has the edge in shots, but by like 1 shot a game. So that's decent for sure.
That's decent.
I'd say the biggest difference for me is, first of all, I think the gap in points is not going to be as big as everyone thought going into the season. People are penciling Kaprizov as a like 1.5 guy who's going to challenge Kucherov, McDavid, McKinnon, like those types of guys.
hmm
I don't think he's doing that this year. I think he's going to be maybe 1.3, which is still obviously unreal, but like
Yep.
there's a tier break there. And then people penciled in Rantanen as maybe just a point per game, 1.1, and I think he's going to be higher than that. I think he's going to be, let's say, like 1.2. So you might be saying like, okay, Josh, so you gave Kaprizov the edge on points and you gave him the edge on shots. So why are you choosing Rantanen? And the biggest reason is the power play. Look, they're not going to keep scoring. He's not going to keep getting like 0.8 power play points per game, right? But even if he slows down to half that pace, he's going to get 0.4. That's not crazy to say. Like you take off 0.4 of his power play points. I think it's like super reasonable to say that he gets
The
a
math's
really high
not
power play
mathing though,
points,
Josh.
or at the very least, he's going to get more power play points than Kaprizov. So because of that, I think that a lot of leagues count that, and I think it's a really hard cat to hit. So I think it's worth it for the other categories.
I'm going Kaprizov, so tiebreaker here. And the logic is, my logic as to why I'm going Kaprizov is the same reason why you just like explained to go Rantanen. Is because right now Kaprizov's at 1.2 points per game and 0.4 power play points. Rantanen's at 1.3 points per game, 0.7 power play points. Nobody's averaging 0.7 power play points for the rest of the season. If he comes down to 0.4, let's say, which is already elite, and they just cancel each other out on power play, then he's at basically a point per game. So I can see him getting maybe slightly more power play points than Kaprizov, but I think they're going to be basically identical. And what he's doing now is what I expect Kaprizov to be doing, but he's going to be taking 0.3 off his point total, right? So I see him getting maybe 1.1 points per game, Kaprizov getting 1.3, both getting like 0.4 power play points, and Kaprizov gets the extra shot. So if you want to
What
use
about,
playoff
I was
games as
about to say,
tiebreaker,
yeah.
like that's a separate question. But I think rest of the season I'd rather Kaprizov, and I mean come playoff time I'd rather have the extra games in 2 different weeks for Rantanen than Kaprizov. So if that's what you want to base it on, then I'm actually going Rantanen. But the player that I believe is going to have the most success rest of the season is Kaprizov.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think I forgot to mention the playoff schedule as like one of the big tiebreakers for me,
Mm-hmm.
but it definitely is. When you have players that are this similar, you go with the guy who has the extra games.
I think both players are first round picks this year, basically. Like Rantanen probably went in either the late first in your league, or people were worried about Rantanen before the season, right? We didn't really know what to expect given what happened at the end of last season. I think you probably got him in the second round, and you're probably laughing.
Yeah.
All right,
that's
what's the last one you got for us?
The last one, talking goalie. Would you rather Joey Daccord or Spencer Knight rest of season?
My super biased opinion is I'm going Daccord, and
At least
honestly,
you put it out there. You're super
yeah,
biased.
I have Daccord on my team. I believe in him a lot as a goalie. I think Knight is also an incredible goalie. I don't believe in this Chicago team at all. And I know it's already a quarter of the way through the season and they're still doing decently. Connor Bedard is the real deal, that 100%, but I just don't think his breakout is enough to drag such a bad team into being this relevant. Like, they're not making the playoffs. There's just no chance, Seattle I think they have a chance to make the playoffs. I don't think they're going to be necessarily top 3 in their division, but I think they can be a wild card team. So I just think based on the team, I'd prefer Seattle, and I think they're equivalent in terms of, kind of skill.
It's extremely tight. So I think for me, I'm going to choose. Like, okay, when it comes down to it, in the playoffs, in your fantasy leagues, I think you're going to be happier owning Daccord, just because they may be making somewhat of a push. And I don't know if Chicago's going to be in the picture. That being said, if they are, I think like just, it could be really good to own Knight. Because like Knight was drafted to be an amazing goalie. He was like the highest drafted goalie, I think, since like Vasilevsky or something. And then Wallstedt also went really high, from St. Paul. So you know what?
TM.
I'm just gonna go with my instinct here because of how close I think this is. I think you're gonna be happier with Knight the rest of the season.
Split the difference once again.
I don't have a lot of conviction about this. This is like really close. Like, I hear you on all fronts, Josh. I think Seattle may be a better team, but the ceiling's higher with Knight, but the floor is definitely lower, and I just think it averages out to being slightly better than the expected value for Daccord.
I'm going Spencer Knight as well. And
Wow.
but I really think these guys could be like back to back in rankings. Like if I had to rank them on a scale of like 1 to 10, like I'm giving Daccord like a 7 and Spencer Knight like a 7.2 type of thing. You know what I mean? Like it's very
Who gives
close.
0.2s on a 10 scale? On a 10 scale,
Well, 0.5 would be too much. So I think 0.2 is a reasonable level of just above. But yeah, the reason is I think they're both going to be really good for saves because they play on teams that are, I would say, like average or slightly below. And I expect Spencer Knight to get more wins, although it might be a few more. Yeah, I think I actually like Spencer Knight and the Blackhawks, and I think right now they're hot, and I think maybe he accumulates more wins in the near future that balances out the slowdown later in the season. But yeah, that's kind of my take.
Yeah. You know what? One more, like, I guess, caveat to my perspective is that if your league penalizes you for losses, then I think I would give the edge to Daccord, actually. But I also think he's going to get, like, I think he's going to get more wins because, like, I think they're just going to play him a bit more. Like, I think he'll get more games. And if he gets more games, his percentages are going to be more volatile. The averages, like I said, are going to be slightly better. But if he gets penalized for losses, I think that Daccord's going to be the better one to own.
I still go Knight. But yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Close. The last three, Kevin. The last three were wild. Like even they were all really good, but oof. As soon as Josh disappeared in the upside down, you were like, all right, let's drop this ghost pepper on.
Showtime, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you to everybody for listening to this episode, our week 9 news and would you rather. Always a great one. If you enjoyed the show and if you made it this far, give us a like on this video on YouTube and subscribe to our channel. You could also find us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast. Rate us 5 stars if you like what you hear, and give the podcast a follow as well, please. And you can find the link to all of our socials in the podcast description: Instagram, TikTok, Reddit, X, the other one. We are all there. Take it away, Ernie.
Ba-ba-da-bow-bow, Banger Management Fantasy Hockey Podcast. Woo!
Woo! Woo!